The Herbalist's Sleeping Draught. Hello, dear one. It's time to rest now. Let the day fall away. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath deepen. And your thoughts grow lighter, like leaves floating gently down a quiet stream. Wherever you are, feel your body supported. Notice the softness beneath you. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Rising. Falling. As natural as the sway of branches in the forest breeze. Tonight, we travel gently. Into the green hush of old woods. Where moss carpets the ground and the air smells of crushed herbs and quiet rain. Nothing is required of you here. Only to listen. And to let go. Let go. Our story tonight begins. In a clearing not marked on any map. Tucked deep in the belly of a medieval forest. Where owls blink slowly from high branches. And deer leave quiet prints in damp earth. There stands a crooked little hut made of moss-covered stone. And timber darkened by centuries of soft rain. This is the home of Elda. The herbalist of Eldenmere Wood. People say she speaks the language of roots and rivers. They say her touch calms fevers. And her teas call peaceful dreams. She lives alone, but she is never lonely. For the woods are alive around her. And the herbs. The herbs are always listening. It is late in the evening. A cool breeze dances between the trees. Carrying with it the scent of pine resin and drying mint. The sun has long since dipped beneath the canopy. Leaving behind a sky powdered with stars. Soft candlelight flickers through the cracks in the shutters. Inside, Elda moves silently. Her slippers make no sound on the flagstone floor. And her long gray braid swings softly as she leans over her workbench. The air in her hut is thick with warmth. A small fire crackles in the hearth, its embers glowing a soft orange. On shelves carved into the stone walls, jars sit in tidy rows. Dried thyme bundled with twine. Chamomile flowers like tiny golden suns. Lavender stems hanging upside down from the rafters. Tonight, Elda is making her sleeping draught. A potion so gentle, so lulling. That it's said even the village hounds drift into dreams when a single drop is placed on their tongues. She hums softly as she works. A tune as old as the hills. The recipe is simple. But precise. Into a bronze mortar, she drops 5 crushed violet petals. Symbols of spiritual protection in medieval lore. They crumble into a soft purple dust. She adds valerian root, dried and shaved fine. Its scent is musky, earthy, deep. Like soil after rain. In the Middle Ages, valerian was known as all heal. And was often placed under pillows to ward off nightmares. She stirs slowly. Wooden pestle turning with care. Each circle another step toward rest. And now she reaches for rosemary. Not just for its calming scent. But because in the medieval world, rosemary was thought to guide the soul home. When it wandered too far in dreams. Elda plucks a sprig from the drying rack. Crack. It snaps in her fingers. Releasing a crisp fragrance that rises into the warm air. She sprinkles it in. She lifts the mortar to her nose. Closes her eyes. And breathes. As the herbs rest, mingling in their shallow bowl. Elda moves to the cauldron simmering in her hearth. It is no grand kettle. Just a rounded vessel made by a village blacksmith. Many decades ago. Its sides are worn smooth from years of use. Its iron blackened with memory. The water inside is warm and still. Waiting. She tips the crushed herbs in with a steady hand. The water greets them with a soft hiss. And soon, the room is filled with the perfume of peace. She stirs with a carved birchwood spoon. Around and around. Always clockwise. For that is how the earth turns. And how dreams are said to unfold. Outside, an owl hoots softly. Inside, the flames crackle and sigh. And Elda whispers to the mixture, not with words. But with her breath. Her presence. She leans close and murmurs something in a language no longer spoken. but felt. Now, it is time to bottle the draught. She fetches a collection of small glass vials, each stoppered with cork and bound with wax thread. The glass is tinted violet. Not just for beauty, but because in medieval times, people believed purple glass protected the energy of whatever it held. One by one, she pours the sleeping potion into the bottles, the liquid glowing amber in the candlelight. Each drop is a lullaby. Each vial, a gentle hush. She lines them up on a silk cloth, then dips a slender brush into walnut ink, and writes a label on each, to guide you safely into dreams. There is one more step. The spell of scent. Elda opens a carved wooden box, inside of which lie bundles of dried flowers. She selects one. A tiny sachet filled with lavender and mugwort. In the Middle Ages, mugwort was thought to grant prophetic dreams. When tucked beneath a sleeper's pillow, she tucks one sachet beside each bottle. Not necessary, perhaps, but comforting. Like the sound of soft rain on a windowpane, or the warmth of a wool blanket at the end of a long day. Elda places the vials in a small wicker basket. Tomorrow, she will walk them to the village. Tomorrow, she will leave them at doorsteps, with little sprigs of rosemary tied to each. But for tonight, the draught is complete. And now, dear one, let your breath grow slower still. Imagine that basket beside your bed. Imagine the scent, warm, floral, just a little spicy. Imagine Elda's kind hands offering you a single vial. Just for you. You tilt it, and a single golden drop touches your tongue. It tastes like warm honey and soft earth. And as you close your eyes, you feel your body drifting deeper and deeper, like a leaf falling gently through twilight air. The hut is quiet now. Only the fire whispers, its last embers glowing in the hearth's curved belly. A kettle hums low above the heat, and a silver spoon rests beside an empty cup, waiting. Outside, the forest stretches like a great green sea. Mist rises in patches, curling at the base of tree trunks, slinking along winding paths once used by pilgrims and wandering monks. Above, the stars shimmer like pins pricked into velvet. And in the hush between branches, you can hear the forest breathe. Slow. Deep. Timeless. This is the hour the villagers call the veil between dreams. A time when the waking world loosens, and sleep walks hand in hand with memory. It is in this hush that Elda closes her eyes. She sits beside the hearth, her hands resting in her lap, her shoulders curved like the bend of a river. And as she breathes, she remembers. She remembers how her mother taught her to steep thyme in goat's milk, to ease a child's cough. She remembers how her grandmother swore that rosemary hung above the bed would invite only good spirits into dreams. She remembers a time, long ago, when she was the one trembling in the doorway, small hands clutching a fevered doll, while her own herbalist mother stirred valerian in the firelight. Now, the cycle continues. Elda is the one who watches the fire, who brews the calm, who bottles the hush. But before she slips into her own rest, she prepares her nightly tea, a ritual as soft and sacred as the folding of a prayer. She lifts the kettle and pours hot water over a small cloth pouch, stitched with rose hips and chamomile. The scent blooms. Gentle. Floral. Faintly sweet, like sunlight on wildflowers. She cradles the cup in both hands, lets the warmth seep into her fingers, and leans back. Tonight, like every night, she dreams with purpose. In the old beliefs, dreams were not chaos or accident. They were messages, visitations, sometimes warnings, but often just the soul stretching its legs beyond the world of waking. Some say the right herb unlocks the door. Others say, the door is always open. If only we remember how to find it. And now, dear listener, you too begin to drift. Your breath, soft as moth wings. Your thoughts, slowing like the winding of an old clock. Each inhale, drawing peace. Each exhale, releasing the noise of the day. You feel your limbs grow heavier. A pleasant weight. Like warm blankets drawn up to the chin. And in your mind's eye, you see yourself standing at the edge of the same forest. You walk forward. Slowly. Gently. Bare feet brushing the mossy floor. Each step cushioned by ferns and fallen needles. The air smells of cedar and sage. A firefly drifts past. Glowing once. Then disappearing into the velvet dusk. You follow a trail. A barely there ribbon of pressed grass. It curls like a question between tree trunks. And soon, you see it. The little stone hut. The candlelight inside calls to you like a lullaby. You knock. Lightly. The door creaks open without a sound. And inside, there she is. Elda. Her face, a map of gentle years. Her smile, like an old lullaby. She does not speak. She simply nods. As if she's been expecting you all along. She offers you a seat beside the fire. Places a warm cup in your hands. The scent is instantly familiar. Lavender. Valerian. And something else. Something ancient. You sip. The warmth travels down your throat. Into your chest. Into your limbs. And then she speaks, her voice low and musical. Tonight, you'll dream deeply. But not alone. The forest will watch over you. The roots will cradle you. The stars will whisper only kind things. And then, the world tilts gently. Not in fear. But in release. Like the swing of a hammock. Or the soft rock of a boat on quiet waters. You feel yourself floating. Held in something old and safe. Older than kings. Older than crowns. Held in the breath of trees. In the cradle of the earth. You fall backward into sleep. Not like a stone. But like a feather. Down. And down. And down. The herbalist's sleeping draught. Working through your dreams. Like warm tea in a chilled hand. And now, your thoughts flicker. A candle in a draught. And just for a moment, you glimpse the dreams waiting on the other side. A castle garden lit only by moonflowers. A lion sleeping beneath a banner of peace. A child carrying rosemary to a queen's bedside. 1,000 fireflies rising from the grass like stars from soil. They come and go. Soft. Patient. Waiting for you. And as you drift, you know, deep down, that you will meet them all. In time. There is no rush. No urgency. Only stillness. And the slow unfolding of quiet dreams. The hut fades from view now. Not lost, just resting behind a soft curtain of sleep. You are still somewhere in the forest. But it no longer feels like a place of trees and stones. It has shifted. Grown wider. Deeper. Quieter. Each breath you take pulls you further inward. Into your own quiet grove. There, a small pool waits. The water, still as glass. Reflecting not your face, but flickers of memory. This, the herbalists say, is where the dreams gather. You sit beside the pool. Not with effort. But with ease. The way one sits beside a friend. Who's been waiting patiently. The mist hangs low over the surface. And just beyond the fog, figures begin to form. Not frightening. Not sharp. Just soft outlines. Moving slowly. A knight lays his sword aside to pick violets for his daughter's hair. A merchant wraps her worn shoes in wool before walking the last leg of a journey. A cat naps on a sill in a monastery where not a single candle has blown out in 50 winters. These are the gentle truths tucked into dreams. No battles. No kings. Just the hum of old lives. The warmth of old hands. The softness of yesterday's footsteps. Elda appears again, but not beside you. She's across the pool now. Still smiling. Still holding a vial of golden draught. She dips her fingers into the water, creating the faintest ripple. It shimmers toward you like a silver thread. And with it, the dream deepens. You find yourself walking again. But the ground is not earth. It is woven wool. The sky above is not sky, but parchment with inked constellations. You are walking through a tapestry. Every step, embroidered. Every sound, stitched. You pass scenes from the village. A cobbler asleep on his stool. A baby swaddled in moss-lined blankets. A baker placing warm loaves in a wooden cart before sunrise. These are the people Elda makes her draft for. Not nobles. Not scholars. Just those who need to rest. The dream grows quieter still. So soft now that even your heartbeat feels hushed. Even the air seems to float. And just when you think you've reached the deepest part, a bell rings. Not a jarring bell, but a single, hollow tone. Made from bronze. Cast long ago. When people still believed that bells could guard the soul during sleep. In some villages, they rang a bell before nightfall. Not to call to prayer, but to call back the wandering pieces of the heart. You hear that now. The call home. The hush of return. You lie down beside the bell. On a patch of moss so thick. It holds the shape of your body like memory. Your head rests gently. Your hands unclench. Your eyes flutter closed. And in the distance, Elda's voice comes once more. This time, not as sound, but as a feeling. It says, "May you dream gently. And rise slowly. May you remember nothing. And feel everything. May the draft keep you safe. Until morning finds you." And so it is. You are fully within the dream now. The air moves like breath. The stars blink slowly. Even the wind, if it blows at all, does so with care. Let yourself rest. Let your body continue to melt into stillness. Let your chest rise and fall, as if floating on the sea of 100 peaceful sleepers. You are safe. You are warm. You are so, so loved. Time no longer flows here. It sways. Like a branch hanging over still water. Like the hush between one heartbeat and the next. You are not dreaming in images now, but in textures. In feelings. In the quiet echoes of a world before clocks. Here, the moss sings you lullabies. The mist wraps you like a quilt. And above, the stars do not shine. They pulse. Gently. Like they are breathing too. Everything is breathing with you. In this deepest fold of sleep, you find yourself at a small wooden table. The table is set with herbs. Bundled in linen. Tied with wool. Some crumbling with age. And across from you is a mirror. But it does not reflect your face. It reflects the part of you that carries the weight of waking. The heavy thoughts. The half-said words. The tightness in the chest that never quite goes away. Elda stands behind you. She sets a sprig of rosemary on the table. Its scent clears the mirror. And you see not your burden, but your softness. The part of you that still believes in peace. She speaks without speaking. Even in sleep, you are healing. Now the table fades. You are walking again. But it's like floating. No effort. Just movement guided by some old, unseen current. You pass beneath arches made of woven willow. You step over roots shaped like cradles. And in the branches above, tiny bells tinkle. Strung there by villagers long ago, to honor the dream spirits of the wood. Some believed these bells carried their prayers into the next world. Others just liked the sound. So soft. So kind. Like silver rain. And just ahead, the forest clears. A wide, open glade, lit by moonlight. And fireflies that drift like floating embers. At its center, a pool, shallow and smooth as glass. This is not the pool of reflection. This is the pool of forgetting. In the old traditions, some herbalists taught that forgetting was not failure, but rest. To forget the burdens for one night was to remember yourself more clearly come morning. You kneel beside it. You touch its surface. And feel everything that clings too tightly begin to dissolve. Guilt. Rush. Noise. Names you do not need to carry tonight. Gone. Not erased. But set down. Like a heavy basket. Elda appears once more. She nods. Then she offers a soft cloth to dry your hands. The dream now becomes lighter. Like a feather rising on a sigh. You are not drifting down anymore. You are simply being held. Wrapped. Cradled. In scent. In warmth. In stillness. You do not need to think. You do not need to do. Only to float. And to breathe. You see a small window now. Round and ancient. Through it, a room glows with firelight. Elda's hut. You are back again. But smaller than before. Not in body. But in need. You lie upon a low cot. With wool blankets tucked to your chin. A little bundle of rosemary and mugwort rests on your chest. And a candle flickers at your side. Elda sits nearby. Murmuring something in a forgotten tongue. It is not meant to be understood. Only felt. You close your eyes. And for the first time in many nights, you do not carry your name. You do not wear your weight. You are only breath. Only warmth. Only sleep. The candle beside your bed flickers lower now. Its flame curling like a sigh. Its light painting golden ripples across the wooden walls. Elda is still there. But more shadow than shape. Her voice, now a hum. Like the rustling of time in the wind. Or the steady rhythm of crickets just beyond the window. You lie still. Eyes closed. But the dream continues. Not outwardly. But inward. Deeper into yourself than you've ever gone before. Here, the sleep is not just rest. It is restoration. A weaving together of frayed threads. A gathering of pieces scattered by daylight. A quiet needle stitching your breath into the fabric of the earth. You are not floating anymore. You are rooted. Sunk gently, like a seed into warm soil. And above you, stars hum lullabies without words. In your mind's eye, you see a small garden behind Elda's hut. Moonflowers bloom there. Their petals soft and glowing. Open only in the hours when the world turns its face to the stars. You drift through them. Fingers grazing the tops. And each bloom whispers a tiny dream. One murmurs of a child laughing. Another hums the sound of ocean waves over ancient stone. Another carries the scent of old books and applewood smoke. Each one is a gift. And none ask for anything in return. You lie down in the garden. Your body curling softly. Your breath now slow, slower still. The earth is warm beneath you. The air is kissed with lavender. And all around, the moonflowers breathe with you. Somewhere, far away. In a world you no longer need to name, the village sleeps peacefully. Doors are shut. Chimneys drift wisps of smoke. The baker has covered her loaves. The cobbler has set down his awl. The shepherd's sheep are gathered in the far pasture. And on every doorstep, a small vial of golden draught waits patiently. In a bed of rosemary and violet, they shine softly beneath the stars. Not to be seen, but to be felt. Elda has already been there. She walked through the dark. Not with haste, but with care. Leaving sleep like candlelight on each doorstep. And now she sleeps too. Back in the garden, you feel your body sinking. Not downward, but inward. Your muscles loose. Your hands warm. Your heart slow and steady. Like the turning of a wheel that no longer carries weight. You feel the edges of yourself soften. As if your outline is fading into the soil. Becoming part of something older. A memory the forest will carry. A kindness the earth will keep. And as the final threads of the draught work their way through your breath, you feel a closing. Not an end, but a gentle sealing. Like a book placed on a shelf. Like the final clasp of a wool blanket over your shoulders. Everything is quiet now. The dream, complete. The forest, watching. Elda, smiling. The vial, empty. Your heart, full. Sleep, now. Deep and kind. Sleep that does not ask, but gives. Sleep that heals. Sleep that keeps. And when morning comes, not too soon, you will rise slowly. Gently. You won't remember every step through the forest. Or every word Elda spoke. But you will carry the feeling of warmth. And the scent of rosemary. And the calm hum of old roots beneath your feet. And you'll know that somewhere, not too far from the edge of thought, a small herbalist's hut still waits. Filled with drying herbs. Flickering candlelight. And the promise of rest. For anyone weary enough to find it. Good night, dear one. Let the world sleep with you. Breathe. Melt. Dream. The herbalist's sleeping draught has done its work. And you are safe. Always.